Hello and welcome to DB Overland, and welcome to another Roamer series video. Today's video is a little bit different. I've got some big news to share about the trailer. Unfortunately, the trailer series is coming to an end. I had to sell the trailer. I know, I'm sorry, but that's just what happens sometimes. Nah, I'm kidding. It's right there. So, since I put the trailer together, I've been doing a lot of testing. Now, when I build my projects, I don't quite go all the way 100% through with them. I get them to the point where I can use them. And then what I'll do is I'll take them out and I'll test them and I'll test them and I'll test them. And then that way I have an idea of, well, do I need to change this? Did this work? Did this idea work? Maybe not. So because I only go to the point of where they're functionable, then that way I don't have as much to change if I do need to make a change, which there is going to be quite a bit of changes happening to this trailer. Now, the trailer did some pretty big trips, and it went down to Colorado. It's been over to North Idaho. It's been around Wyoming quite a bit. And for the setup that it's currently at, we got a pretty good system down with it. But there's definitely some things that we want to change. So in this video, I want to share with you guys of the things that I do like about the trailer and things that I don't like about the trailer, and what I'm going to be making changes to. So let me share with you guys my ideas. One of the fun things about building your own overland trailer is, or at least I find fun in it, is trying to figure out the layout of the trailer and how you're going to use it. So since these were utility boxes for a step-side pickup, I didn't really design. I'm just trying to work with what's available. So let me show you what we've got so far. Now, this first compartment, I've got it set up to where, you know, we've got our normal like bug spray, and we've got some kitchen stuff, you know, for cleaning dishes, you know, sunscreen, things like that. And then down here, we keep our entertainment. We've got our games, and then we've got our flashlights and lanterns and stuff like that. And then down here is where I've got all of our power cords to like the jackery and the fridge. And these are cords that, like, if we were at a campground that had actual 120 hookup, that's where a lot of these cords are stored for stuff like the fridge and the jackery and whatnot. So this area right here, even though it looks like a complete mess and it's cluttered and whatnot, it actually turned into a pretty good system. And these shelves are all adjustable, so that made things kind of nice. So that's what we've decided to go with on this front compartment. Now, welcome to the pantry. So this area we used to store all of our dry foods in this area. And it worked really well. Like, you would actually be really amazed at how much room is in here. You can actually stand up a soda bottle in here, like, and like a full bag of chips and stuff. You can actually have standing upright. It's actually quite amazing how much room is up here. And we actually really liked this area as the pantry. Now, one of the changes that we're going to do to this area is I'm actually going to turn this into a kitchen. And my idea is I've got a Blackstone grill that I want to put on tracks that is going to extend out of this section right here, and then that way I can cook. I'll have the rest of our kitchen utensils and everything that we need over on this side, and then that stove will slide out. Now it will interfere with clearance inside of the trailer, but that's okay because we haven't really had an issue with height, because a lot of the stuff that we are currently having to stack up is because we don't have a home for it. And one of the things is the grill. So when I get that grill mounted in here, we don't have to worry about the space quite as much in the middle storage section. Now, it won't be the whole length of the middle storage section. It'll just be kind of more up here towards the front. So that is the idea with this section that we turned into the pantry, and it worked really, really well for that. Now, these sections down here, they've been kind of the oddball sections. So I've been storing propane bottles. We've got our Mr. Buddy heater from our last winter camping trip, just in case somebody needed it. But normally this is where my gas bottle, I've got a little 5-pounder propane bottle. That's normally where I would keep it, is down in here. And what I'm thinking about doing is permanently mounting, or getting a nice permanent mount for that 5-pounder, and then plumbing from in here over to the stove. So then that way I don't have to worry about pulling, well, I guess I would have to pull the bottle out to get it refilled. Ha! But, you know, I don't know. I thought about having it permanently mounted, but also I don't like the idea of having a propane bottle stored inside of an area. So I may do an external mount. I'm not for sure. This area, and same with the other side, has just been kind of a catch-all. We've just been putting our random stuff in here. So I really don't know quite yet on these areas. So let's talk about middle storage now. Middle storage. I love this. I am so glad I found this RV slide out. I did have to modify it, but that was okay. This has been extremely versatile. This is our kitchen stuff right now, and then normally we have another container right behind it, and that container would hold all of our camping supplies, things for the tents, extra gear. And then so this is deep enough to hold 3 of these containers. We can go 3 deep with it, but we only did the 2. And it worked out really well, because when we were in Colorado, this was actually our luggage storage. We had all of the boxes pushed forward, and then we had our bags right here. And then we had bags for our dirty clothes that we would set on top of our bags. So yes, it did become cumbersome, because in order to get to the kitchen stuff, we had to remove our clothing bags, but it actually worked out actually pretty well, because when we got to camp, we would remove our bags and put it in our tents, and then we would use the tail end of the slide out here as a kitchen, and we would use it as a table. We would cook on it, and it worked out actually really, really well. So I'm very, very glad that I found this slide out, and it's earned its weight in gold for sure. side. So again, catch-alls. Really don't know what we're gonna do with these sections. This one's been working out pretty well because actually we just acquired a pup, and so we've been putting all of the dog stuff in here, and that's been actually working pretty well because it's locked, it's secured. When we're in areas where there's bears and stuff, we know that the dog food is locked. Won't be able to get into it very easily. So it's been working because also then my son, it's like, okay, go take care of your dog, and he knows exactly where everything is. And so that's been working out actually pretty well. All right, now for this side, which I do like this feature. I think I'm gonna add this to the other side or whatnot. This has been kind of the tools area. I've got the wheel chocks, I've got, you know, things like a machete, road hazard lights, a jack, my air chuck. I've got a air chuck for blowing out radiators and stuff. Like, this has been kind of the catch-all for tool wise. Also, when I travel around, I unbolt the jack every time, and I just store the jack right in here versus leaving it on the tongue because it hangs down too far. So my idea is actually to go from the dry food storage on the other side to this side. This is gonna be the new dry food storage, because I figured I'll have all the kitchen stuff over on that side with the stove, the cooking utensils, the spices, plates, you know, stuff like that will be on that side. This side, all dry foods. And we really like this area as dry food storage. So I think that's what this area is going to turn into. And last but not least, this compartment goes all the way inside. So this compartment, what we would do for this area is, obviously you can see it's housing the floor jack right now. Now I would have to carry those floor jacks with me. I've got two of them, and we would actually have to put them on the rear bumper every time we wanted to unhook, because if you were to try to pull out the rear slide, the trailer would go right on its butt. So, but my idea for this area is I'm gonna mount a water tank in here. I think I found a 15-gallon water tank that will be mounted in here. And then also I'm gonna put a battery right here, and all of the electronics, the BC to DC inverter, solar panel, light switches, this is going to be the utility room. This and water. This is what I'm thinking for this area, and that's what we used it for. I had extra jerry cans that I would store in here. I had a water jerry can, and that's pretty much what we use this section for. So that's all of the storage areas. Now, another big change that I did is it's gray. It's not paint, it's primer. I actually had to primer the trailer because the good old Mother Nature was starting to rust it out. We took this over to North Idaho for Thanksgiving, and they salt the roads across Montana. And when we came back, this thing was rusting really bad. So I took the time to sand it down and get some primer on it. And as you can see, it's starting to come back through the rust. So I'm gonna have to get some paint on it here pretty soon. And another thing that I did is I got new wheels and tires for the trailer. These are a 32 11.5 by 15 Yokohama Geolanders, and these are the DX4 wheels, 15 by 8s. I really like this setup, but it's going to change a little bit. So those are the real obvious changes that I've done to the trailer. Other than that, it's the same thing. Now, let's talk a little bit about what changes I want to make to the trailer. Okay, so since I used the trailer for about almost a year, just how it is, here's some things that I want to change. And I'll start with the storage compartments. So I'm going to turn our current pantry into a kitchen, and it's going to have a slide out stove. And I'm really excited to do that. And I found the biggest stove that I can get for that space. There's not much space there to work with. So I think I can make it work though. I'm really looking forward to that. The trailer is going to get a full water system. It's going to get a full electrical system. In every storage compartment, I want to put lighting. So then that way, late at night at camp, we can see our supplies. We aren't rummaging around. Oh, where's the flashlights? I pretty much want to keep flashlights and the lanterns for when we're away from the trailer. I want to have the trailer fully illuminated. And that's pretty much it for the storage. Now, for the trailer itself, these are the biggest changes. One thing that I need to do is I need to lengthen the trailer. And what I'm talking about lengthening the trailer is right here. I'm going to cut the tongue off, and what I want to do is I want to add 2 feet onto the frame length before I do the tongue. Now the reason why I want to do that is because, one, I think the trailer is a little too short. I did a tag-along tour, and we had to go through a section where there was a really big washout, and I had the shortest trailer, and I had the shortest tongue length. And what I noticed is, on these really big heavy washes, the trailer and the truck only almost made contact. When I had the rooftop tent up here, it came really, really, really close to actually touching the awning on the truck. And I knew if I had about another 2 more feet of length on the trailer, it wouldn't make contact. Now, another reason why I want to extend the tongue is because I want a storage box on the front of the tongue up here, or I want it in front, and that's where my cluster, my tools, all that type of stuff, that's what's going to go into that storage box. Now, also, another reason why I want to lengthen the tongue is because this is too well balanced. And what I mean by that is it's so easy for this trailer to tip backwards if you have too much weight up front. I've been storing my spare tire up front just to give it more tongue weight because there's not enough tongue weight. Now, I want to build a tire carrier on the back of the trailer that's on a swing out. So when you want to access the back, you open up the tire carrier and then you open up the back door. But I can't put this back there because then there would be too much weight on the back and not enough weight on the tongue. Another reason, also, again, with more weight on the tongue, is I've got kids that love riding bikes, and I've got a hitch bike carrier, and when I try to put the bikes on the back of the trailer, I have to cram so much weight at the front of the trailer just to keep it from wanting to wander down the road really, really bad. So I need more length, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut the frame, go 2 feet longer with a nice utility box, and that's really, really going to help out with this trailer. Now, another thing that I need to do with this trailer is I need to go wider on the axle. Right now, when I engineered this trailer, to follow behind my Jeep Cherokee. Now, I don't have the Jeep Cherokee anymore. We sold it in order to get my Tacoma. And right now, when this trailer follows behind the Tacoma, it likes to wander a little bit back and forth across the road. And then also, when we are traveling in 2 tracks, the trailer's constantly having to, it's just finding itself all the time, back and forth, back and forth. So I'm going to be widening the axle so it's the same width as the Tacoma, and then I'm also going to be changing the suspension, because the way that I have the suspension right now won't work with the new axle width. So those are the big changes for the trailer to come, and I'm extremely excited to share this with you guys. I freaking love this thing. I take this thing everywhere. The amount of extra storage that it has given us has been just absolutely amazing. So I'm really excited to show you guys. We've got some really big changes coming up, and this thing is going to be awesome. Well, thank you everyone for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe. I see that you guys love the Roamer series, but I also see that a good percentage of you guys aren't subscribers. So hey, why not subscribe? Won't hurt you. So subscribe, click that notification bell, and that way you guys can get notifications of when the new trailer builds come out. So thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you out on the trail.